So I got a comment on Instagram the other day that meant a lot to me. The person said, "Man, I wanted to tell you that lately I'm losing the desire to play the guitar, but thanks to your videos, I'm finding it again. Thank you very much." First of all, this is my favorite comment ever to receive, and I've received it from a few people over the years, which always means so much to me because it really is the reason I started this channel in the first place, is to encourage people to play guitar, encourage people to bring their guitar playing to a new level, and to really just celebrate the guitar altogether. That was really the main goal when I first started. So one important thing to understand though is this absolutely happens to all of us. This happens to everybody, whether you play just for fun or you play at a professional level. Sometimes even especially if you play at a professional level, it can come in waves, the motivation and the inspiration to keep up the practicing and keep playing and keep pushing. So my advice to this person, which is usually my advice if you feel like you're kind of lacking motivation or getting a little bit discouraged, is to go back to what got you into the guitar in the first place. Not so much to find new music or new players to inspire, because the stuff that got you into guitar in the first place, you have a much stronger emotional connection to already, and it's the stuff that made you want to pick up the guitar in the first place. As I said in my reply to this person, it's so easy for all of us to get caught up in all the little minutia details and nuances of our playing that we spend our entire practice time running through scales or trying to learn the most exotic scales or worrying about the smallest little nuances of our, picking technique and everything. We kind of lose track of what made us pick up the guitar in the first place, which is music. Music that we like, songs that we like. We want to play some fun songs, maybe play for our friends, maybe impress the girl. Whatever reason it is that made you pick up the guitar in the first place, it can be easy to lose track of that and kind of get too far away from that. Now, I'm not saying that worrying about nuanced picking technique or trying to learn all your scales across the fretboard is a bad thing. Of course, I would encourage you to focus on that and to work on those things. But that is a very small part of our playing. That's a small detail when it comes to our overall musicianship with the instrument. And it's always amazing to me how many players don't spend time with the guitar playing music, playing songs, learning them all the way through from beginning to end, where you can actually cover it and perform it and memorize it. I always say, if a cover band called you up and said, "Hey, we're doing Sweet Child of Mine next weekend. Do you want to come up on stage and jam with us?" Do you know the song well enough to actually play it beginning to end, know all the parts, have it down? Very few players actually spend their practice time working on that. In my opinion, when we work on our nuanced technique and we're working on knowing our scales, that is only to help us play music, to play songs, and especially start to finish. So instead of practicing all day, every day, the only thing you practice is sweep picking and that's it, how often is sweep picking actually going to come up as a technique that you need to execute in a song? Of course, I'm not saying don't practice sweep picking. I have sweep picking exercises on the channel and I use it fairly often. But again, it is a small percent of the time that we're actually spending with the instrument sweep picking arpeggios. So my whole point here is don't lose track of what made you pick up the guitar in the first place. Now for me, another compliment that I got the other day that actually meant so much to me is that they said when you play covers on YouTube and when I'm, doing my little performances here, that I always look like I'm having so much fun playing the guitar. And the truth is, I am. The guitar is pretty much one of the most fun things you can do, at least in my opinion. And I am having a blast every time I get to play songs that I love. If I'm playing some Van Halen or Guns N' Roses or whatever it is, I'm having a blast. But also, those are the type of players that made me want to pick up the guitar in the first place. My number one influence is Eddie Van Halen. I don't think there's anyone who looks like they're having more fun with the guitar than Eddie Van Halen. He always has that smile on his face when he's playing the guitar, and I think he's probably having the most fun of his life when he's playing his guitar. When I look at other players like Slash and Jimmy Page and all of my personal favorites that really got me into guitar, even going to Jason Becker, of course, Jason Becker always has a blast playing the guitar. He's also one of the most technical players out there, but more importantly, he's having fun. That expressiveness comes through his playing. His playing sounds fun. His performance looks fun. It's about enjoying your time with the instrument and having fun. So if you're feeling discouraged, if you feel like you're kind of hitting a plateau and you're not sure what to do, one of my biggest suggestions always is to learn the music that you love. And sometimes it can be really fun to go back to the music that got you into guitar in the first place. So again, I'm not saying don't practice technique or don't learn theory or don't worry about picking angles and all that kind of stuff. If it helps you, then great. But don't spend the majority of your time with the guitar worrying about that stuff. That's the fine-tuning details that you're trying to work out that allows you to play music start to finish, songs start to finish. So don't forget that aspect. Go back to the music that is fun, that you enjoy playing. You're going to stay naturally more motivated and more inspired because it's fun. You will never get great at anything that you don't enjoy doing. So as long as you're enjoying your time with the guitar and you're having fun, you're going to get really good. I promise. And it's also never going to feel like practicing because you're having fun working on the things that you want to work on. As I said, the guys who got me into guitar are Slash, Jimmy Page, Eddie Van Halen. Those would be the big three early on. I want to know who your big three or your favorite guitar players' favorite bands are in the comments. Let me know below. It'd be kind of fun for all of us to share all of our influences that got us into playing music to begin with. So hopefully that helps. If you've been feeling a little discouraged recently, try that out. I think it will make a big difference. Let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, keep up the practice.